Stop overthinking. Do you find yourself wondering if you should specialize in formal wear versus casual wear? I'm going to tell you how I made the decision to specialize in formal wear versus casual wear. Choosing to focus on formal wear versus casual wear was very challenging. Honestly, my creativity shines in both areas, and so making that decision was very tedious. As a graduate of FIT and being in the fashion industry for several years, I have dressed several ladies for prom and also for weddings. Just the same way my creativity is balanced between formal wear and casual wear, my skill set is also balanced between fashion, pattern making, finance, and math education. You will notice that on this channel, I have videos on pattern making and sewing, also on finance and math education. Now, I must tell you that I am skilled in all three areas because I have a degree in all three areas of pattern making, finance, and math education. I have been teaching over 15 years now. I have taught middle school math for 7 years, and I have been teaching high school for over 8 years now. I am the type of person where I always try to analyze numbers, and I am great at shrinking numbers also. And so because I have that skill at analyzing numbers and how to approach a math problem, I always come up with other techniques where the students can solve a math problem. Not just one technique, but sometimes there are 2 techniques or 3 ways that they can solve one math problem. And so I usually show this to my students so they can know which approach they want to take and feel more comfortable using in order to arrive at the correct answer. Now, in terms of my finance videos, you will notice that I have posted videos on how to get out of debt using whether the debt avalanche method or the debt snowball method. And I have personally used it for myself also to get out of debt. Because I have a degree in finance and also merging it with my math education, I'm able to break things down. And those are my skill sets. So I'm great with my fashion in terms of making patterns and sewing and getting that outfit looking right. And then I'm great at reducing your debt, telling you how to save money, the best method, and teaching you math. So on this channel, you will notice that I am using all of my skills and giving it back to you. I have created a free PDF for you, and you can click the link below so that you can get your free PDF. That's not all. You can also book a call with me where we can talk about math or finance or pattern making or sewing. So just go ahead, click that link so that we can talk one-on-one and I can help you with whatever problem that you're going through. So let's get right into me telling you how I made that decision to specialize in formal wear versus casual wear. Now, before I made that transition, I simply had to create a list of the pros and cons. And then from that list, I was able to determine that offering formal wear versus casual wear was a better option for my clients. So the first thing that was on my list was the construction of the garment. And if we first look at the formal wear construction, we will notice that we're not dealing with just simply one layer of clothing. We are thinking that in order for the garment to look finished properly, we have to add lining. And so because we are lining the entire garment, then we can consider that as being 2 layers. So think in terms of the fact that you have the outer garment and then underneath you have that lining that is going to cover all the seams and raw edges, and you will have a clean finished look on the outside of the fabric, and then also on the inside of the fabric it is going to be clean finished properly where you're just going to see the lining. Now, in terms of the casual wear, most times you're not going to use a lining, but sometimes you will still use a lining. But the difference here, in most cases, the lining is not being attached to the actual garment, it is separated. So let's think of a situation where there's no lining that is being used in the construction of the casual wear. You have the casual wear, and when you look at it from the wrong side, you will notice that the seams are being shown. You have to make sure that you're going to be using the overlocking machine to serge the edges of the seams. And if you don't do it that way, then you might choose to use a bias binding to cover the edges of that seam. Constructing the garment is going to be different for a formal wear versus for a casual wear. For the formal wear, since it is lined, and we're dealing with two different layers here, the lining part and the actual outer part for the outfit, you have to take into consideration that a lot more time is going to be spent, because it's almost like you're making the outfit twice, because you are constructing the lining so that you can attach it onto the actual garment. So in terms of the casual wear, definitely the time construction is going to be a little bit different. Yes, you're going to need time to use that overlocking machine to serge the edges, or if you choose to use a bias binding, you still have to make sure that it is clean finished. So there might be a little bit of time difference there, but think in terms of the construction, what you're doing, and the structure, and what is going to look like when you are looking at the garment from the wrong side. So the next thing that you're going to look at is the closure. So in terms of the formal wear, when you're thinking of the closure for that garment, you are either going to use an invisible zipper, or you are going to use covered buttons and loops. And mostly they use that for the bridal gowns, or sometimes they even use it on the bridesmaid dresses. It's really something that we don't put regular buttons on the actual outfit for a formal wear. We usually use the covered buttons, and if you don't use the covered buttons, then it's just not going to look right. Now in terms of the casual wear, the choice is much wider, because you can either use the button and buttonhole, which is going to be any type of button you can use on the casual wear, or you can still use the invisible zipper, or it could be the regular zipper. And some cases you can use snaps, or you can use buckles or things of that nature when you are dealing with casual wear. So you can see that with casual wear, you have more variety to choose from as opposed to a formal wear. So the next thing that you're going to think about on that list is the silhouette. And when you think about the silhouette, you're going to say, okay, do you want it to be a tight fitting outfit on the body, or do you want it to be something that is loose? And for the casual wear, in most cases, it is a little bit loose, but you can also have casual wear that is going to be fitting tight. But in terms of the formal wear, in most cases, people want it to, fit nicely. And on top of it, you want it to come in and maybe flare out. And if you're dealing with, say, a gown, and you want that bodice area to be fitted, then you can choose to do a corset type thing where you're going to use boning for your construction. And that is tedious in itself. Now, when you are doing a casual wear, you don't have to think in terms of, say, maybe a boning construction, unless you want to zhuzh up that casual wear. The next thing that I looked at on my list was the cost. You have to weigh the pros and cons in terms of the cost. In terms of the formal wear, you are actually going to think in terms of the fact that, okay, you are actually going to be almost making this outfit twice, because you are constructing the lining separate from the outer fabric that is going to be used for the actual outfit. And so when you are buying the actual fabric, you have to think of the cost for the lining also. So that is dealing with the cost of the actual fabric. Now for a casual wear, you don't have to think in terms of the lining unless if you want it lined. But as I stated, most cases that you don't have to do that. And for most casual wear also, you can use a polyester lining. But for a formal wear, you want to choose to use a silk lining, and silk lining is very costly. Now, another thing I want to say to you is that you're going to think about fitting. So when you're fitting someone that you're creating a formal wear for that person, you're going to do several fittings, because there's either the fitting for the Muslim, if you are going to be actually making it out of the muslin first before you actually cut it out of the actual fabric. So then you have to think in terms of the fitting that is going to be done once you cut that garment out of the actual fabric and you have sewn the seams together. So that would be the second fitting. Or if you did not use a muslin for the first fitting, then this actual fabric construction is going to be your first fitting for that formal wear. And then you might have another one before you actually close up the actual garment, whereas now you have the lining that is attached to it, but it is not fully closed up. So think the number of times that you have to fit that person when you are dealing with a formal outfit. In terms of the casual outfit, you won't need that much fitting. So that is totally different there. You might just simply need one fitting. So now let's get to the last and final list that you have, that you're weighing your pros and cons on your paper. And that would be the actual price for your labor. Now, pricing out a formal wear is going to be at a higher cost than pricing out a casual wear, because you have to think in terms of the cost of the fabric and also in terms of the number of fitting that you'll be doing and the length of time it's going to take you to finish that garment. So think of those steps and then you can make your decision from there. You can go back and watch this video of mine, and that will help you tremendously if you are first learning how to start making formal wear. So although I did go through all the lists of the pros and cons of both the formal and casual wear, I also thought about the feeling I get when I make these two types of outfit. And I'm going to tell you something. When I make a formal wear, I feel so great. I'm beaming with joy and I'm so elated and I'm so excited, especially when I see that client dressed up on that day that they're wearing that outfit, and I feel so good in myself to know that yes, I made that outfit for that person and that person is wearing one of my designs. Now, in terms of the casual wear, I don't get that great of a feeling that I will get when I see the person is wearing a formal wear. It's totally different. Yes, I feel good in knowing that yes, I was able to dress the person and this is one of my design that I've created, but it is not as exciting or as beaming or, you know, that elated feeling that I get as opposed to when I make an actual formal wear. So I get more excitement out of making a formal wear for a client as opposed to making a casual wear. Now, don't get me wrong. I am strong in both in terms of my creativity and what I can do. I choose formal wear because of the feeling I get and that passion and that drive that is inside me, that I want to make sure that my client looks good and is wearing that formal wear and it is a special occasion. Don't get me wrong, I don't just make formal wear. I also make casual wear, but I stick to making the casual wear for myself and for my children. But in terms of my clientele, I rather stick to the formal wear. So with that being said, please go ahead and apply these techniques. Make a list of your pros and cons, and then think about how you feel after you have completed making a formal outfit versus how you feel when you have completed making a casual outfit. And that will help you to determine which area you should specialize in, whether it's formal wear or it should be casual wear. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others around the world so they too will be able to make that decision based on these techniques that I have just laid out for them. Thank you for watching and see you soon on the next video to come. Bye now.